Okay, this is going to be a tutorial that uses two endpoints from the movie database API. One's going to be the search people endpoint, which is here, and the other endpoint is going to be the get person combined credits endpoint. We're going to use these endpoints to take an actor name. We're going to use an actor name string and then make a couple API calls using fetch, right? And with our results, we'll create an object, an actor object based on a class actor. All right, so we're actually going to first start with that actor constructor, right? We're going to have this actor constructor, and this will let you know all the data that we're going to be storing in that actor constructor. It's going to include an actor ID that's unique within the database, their name, a profile path, which is basically a pathway to the image of the actor, a known for list array of 3 credits, and then credits all array that we're going to add with our second API call, get the combined credits. All right. So let's create this. We're going to create a constructor actor with all these arguments: ID, name, profile path, known for, and credits all. Let's fix that. Credits. All right. And we'll just use the simple syntax of this ID equals ID, this name equals name, this profile path equals profile path, this known for equals known for, this credits all equals credits all. All right. So we're going to be able to use this constructor in the context of our function that we're going to create called getActor. All right. So we're going to create a function getActor with an actor string name actor name string, right? And this will search for the actor using fetch, and then using the actor ID will fetch combined credits, and then using a promise.all will return both sets of values so we can create a new actor from our actor constructor. Okay? So let's start with our function getActor, and we'll just, we'll have an actor name string as an argument, and what we're going to do is we're going to just return the fetch of this is our search, okay? And we're going to try Samuel Jackson, right? As an example, we'll test this request. We'll see the response we're getting, and then to see the construction of this by itself, you can see that there's a JSON that has a page, total results, results page, because it's doing a search. And the cool thing is, if it's a very well-known actor, it's always going to be in the results array value 0. So this is a results array, and it's value 0, even though there's a couple other Samuel L. Jacksons, but they're not the Samuel L. Jacksons we're looking for, because within this Samuel L. Jackson we have the Avengers as one of its known 4 credits, as well as Django Unchained. So that's the Sam Jackson we're looking for. So we're going to copy this fetch request and place it in here, but we're going to do some changes. We're using our template literals here. The API key, we could pass this, but I've stored it up top of this document. It'll make it so I don't have to blur as many pages with my API key. So we have the movie DB API key, and then we're also going to replace this call for Samuel Jackson with our actor name string, okay? And so let's just save this. And in the console, let's see what happens. Let's get actor, and let's do Samuel Jackson. All right, whoops. You can see I've been searching for a bunch of actors. And it returns a promise. So a fetch request returns a promise, and it gives a response, and that response value is basically letting us know that the response worked. And it's going to be a JSON object, and we need to then take that JSON object and parse it. So we use a chaining of a .then. We're going to ignore all of the catching of errors for the sake of this tutorial. That's a different. Let's pretend our code always works. How about that? So we'll say .then. Let's take a response and return the response.json, right? And that's the method used to parse a JSON object. And now when we call Samuel Jackson, we still get a promise, but now the promise is the object itself, okay? And if you remember, we said that there is a results array, okay, of objects, and it's the first one we want. So we're going to drill into that data structure and say then .then function data, let's return the data.results and the first result. All right, so this is assuming that the actor name that you enter is basically incredibly famous, spelled correctly, and you always want the first value of the results array. And now as we look again, our promise value is now the specific object we're looking for. All right, Samuel Jackson. And what's important is we have our ID, okay? And now we're going to actually do a an embedded, a nested fetch request. So we have our function actor object, right? And what we're going to do, let me pull this up, is we're going to say var actor details equals actor object, all right? And then let's just console.log actor details, just to make sure that everything is what we expect. And in fact, let's see if actor details.name returns simply Samuel Jackson's name when we call this up. So now we can get actor Samuel Jackson, and we get our promise. All right, the value is hidden right now because we're not returning anything, but we did console log Samuel Jackson. We haven't returned a value at the moment. All right, we didn't return actor object. We just set it and logged the name of the actor. So we're accessing values within the data structure, which is really good. That's what we need to do. And so now we can return our second fetch request. All right, we need, let's actually, before we do that, let's change this to ID, because we need the ID. Command save. This is the unique ID for an actor within the movie database, and that's what we need to make our next fetch request. So I'm going to copy that, 2231, and I'm going to do a combined credits fetch request, okay, for a particular ID. We'll get a response that returns two sets of arrays. We have a cast array, a crew array, and then it returns also the ID again. We're interested in the cast array, all right? The characters, so Samuel Jackson played the character Ordell Robbie in the Quentin Tarantino movie Jackie Brown, all right? He also played Big Don in the Quentin Tarantino written movie, True Romance. And he played Neville Flynn in the infamous Snakes on a Plane. So we're on the right track. And it goes on and on and on, and there's probably well over 100 credits because Sam Jackson does a ton of voiceover work. All right, so now we can again do our fetch request, all right? And we'll change the API key again. To the movie database API key that I've set at the top of this document, which I'm intentionally hiding, so I'll have less the blur in the future. And no longer are we going to hard code this particular actor ID. Instead, we're going to use actor details .id. All right. So whatever actor that we search for and get a response, we're going to get an ID, and then we're going to fetch this. Sorry, we're going to fetch using their ID, their combined credits. All right. So right now, let's save, and we'll go back. And right now, we're getting Sam Jackson, and I'm still console logging that ID, but now we're getting this response again, all right, that is a JSON object. So we have to do our .then function response return response.json, and we save that, and you can see now we have an object that has our cast, crew, and RD values. We only want the cast, so we're going to say dot then function data. Let's take return data dot cast, right? And let's save that. And one more time, Samuel Jackson returns now an array of 212 credits as an actor. That's huge, right? That's a lot of credits. And if you find, you can see there's the list of all the different. We got Mace Windu from the Star Wars movies. We've got Nick Fury from our Marvel universe, and many, many narrator. If you look around, you'll see voice, narrator. There's a lot of narrator credits for a lot of different himself or narrator voice. That voice is very popular. All right. So now we have the actor credits as an array. Okay. And now we have our actor details. All right. And we have dot then function credits array, right? And we're going to do something with that credits array, and we're going to say var actor credits equals that credits array. And so now we have these two variables with values in them, and we need to return them at the same time as values so we can use our actor constructor. So we're going to use a promise dot all, and we're going to pass that array of actor details, that promise from the fetch, and then actor credits. All right. And we're going to return that. And let's see what happens. So we've got our actor credits, and we've got our actor details that are both promise values, and we want to have them that we can work with at the same time. And we'll see. And I think we probably could do this without the promise all, but I think it's fun to learn a promise all anyway. So if we return Sam Jackson, we've got a promise that now returns a value of 2. And you'll see our first array value is the credits, the actor detail object. And the second array value is all of the array of objects, which are all the credits. All right, so you can see again, they're all in here. So we're just doing this to be explicit. So then we have this function values, right, from that array, and we're going to say var actor we'll just say it's just var actor equals the values. Let's do this. Actor object equals, let's be explicit, actor details. This is where we're basically doing make work. We could just actually do our new actor right here, but I think it's fun to learn a promise all. Equals values 0, and then var actor credits object credits array, sorry, equals values index value 1. And so now we can say, hey, let's return a new actor. And we're going to pass. So we want, what do we want from our actor? We want the ID. So that's actor details object.id. We want their name, all right? So actor detail object.name. Then we want their profile path. So actor details object.profile path. And then we want their known for, which is that array of 3 credits they're known for. Actor details object.known for. Whoops, sorry. Known for. And finally, from just the actor credits array object. Actor credits array, yeah. Okay. And we save this, and hopefully Sam Jackson is returning a promise that it gives the value of an actor. Hey, that looks right. That's our object. And so we've reduced this into, we have a credits all, an ID, a known for, a name, and a profile path. And so we have this object. So now we can say var Sam Jackson equals get actor Samuel Jackson, right? And we can call Sam Jackson, and we see it's that promise, and then we can do things with that data. So we could say Sam Jackson dot then function, data console dot log, let's see, data dot name, and we should get his name. Uh-oh, I forgot a parenthesis. And there you go, you're getting Samuel Jackson. So we have stored this promise value that has the pieces we wanted that were fetched and stored into an object. A new object based on our actor constructor. So we combine that data, and technically this is an additional .then. You could basically use the actor credits and the actor details variables and return a new actor right here instead of doing the promise all. But I think the promise all is kind of an interesting thing to learn about to see how, because in some cases when we refactor this code, we may make these separate functions, getting credits and getting actor details. We make them separate functions, and when we call those functions, we may wish to just, pass the values to a single promise value using promise all. So I hope that you were able to follow along. If not, rewind and watch again.